Hey guys, what's going on? Yep, still here, still kicking it. You probably know I'm alive because you go on my Instagram where I just post a lot of stuff. Yeah, I'm posting more AI art again. Kind of took a little break there in between jobs. But now I'm back at it and I still love it and it's still addicting as hell. Let's see really quick. So, let's do some Shakespeare's Bacon. My favorite. Especially if Bacon is the founder of modern day Freemasonry and he wrote the Shakespeare plays, and that means the Shakespeare plays hide Freemasonry in them. And so the greatest writings of all time aren't just the works of a literary genius. He's like a conspiracy, secret society, Illuminati type genius, okay? So Bacon says, but men, if they are not carried away by a whirlwind or tempest of ambition, dot, dot, dot. But then Shakespeare says the same kind of language. For in the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, the whirlwind of your passion. And then in Macbeth it says, life's but a waking shadow. Bacon writes to King James, let me live to serve you, else life is but the shadow of death to your majesty's most devoted servant. Okay, some more here. Bacon says, it's nothing else but words which rather sound than signify anything. And Shakespeare says in Macbeth, 'tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Weird. Shakespeare again says, what a piece of work is man, the paragon of animals, the beauty of the world. While Bacon has, the souls of the living are the beauty of the world. They're using the same exact phraseology, and they happen to live at the same exact time, but there's no account of them ever having met each other, even though both of them were at Gray's Inn at the same time. Anyway, Bacon says, for everything depends on fixing the mind's eye steadily. Again, illuminate the eyes of the mind. And then in Shakespeare, Hamlet says, in my mind's eye, Horatio. Mine eye is my mind. Okay. And then, again, Bacon says, pirates and impostors are the common enemies of mankind. Shakespeare says, and my eternal jewel given to the common enemy of mankind to make them kings. Fun stuff. Rough-hewn is a term they both use. Between heaven and earth, they both use it. Minister to all the diseases of the mind, Bacon says. Shakespeare says, canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Okay? It's just kid stuff. Shakespeare says, assume a virtue if you have it not. And then Bacon says, all wise men to decline the envy of their own virtues used to ascribe them to providence and fortune, for so that they may the better assume them, assuming that virtue. Okay? Bacon talks about the accidents of life, yada yada. They do all sorts of people, is a phrase they both use. Let's see. And you might think all sorts of people use that phrase, but let me know. Who else in the 1600s at that exact time of their lifespans, says that stuff? I'm really curious. Varnished, standing slippery, slippery standers. That's kind of weird. Standing slippery. All right, to the last gasp, Bacon says. Shakespeare says, to the last gasp. Bacon says the sons of Adam. Shakespeare says Adam's sons. The infirmity of sense and the infirmity of human understanding. Infirm of purpose, says Bacon. Infirm of purpose, says Shakespeare. Every tangible body contains an invisible and intangible spirit. Shakespeare says, O thou invisible spirit of wine. Wild and gentle. It's something that's very weird to combine. Mild and gentle. So it makes perfect sense. Mild and gentle. Then Bacon says, ape of nature. Shakespeare says, ape of form. Imitation of nature, Bacon says. An imitation of nature. And then Shakespeare says, imitated humanity. He is a happy imitator of nature. All right. It's, pretty piece of flesh. I circled that because that's a line in Romeo and Juliet. They had like a whole song on it. Pieces of nature, excellent music. It's all the same thing. Compounded clay. All the same phraseologies. Influences of heaven. The sky influences. Soft and tender, soft and tender, soft and tender. All right, and here's some more right here. Story by a Winter's Fire. and then A Winter Talk by the Fireside. The adder, it's like a snake, of course, the black adder, great show. Then they use the word bubble a lot. And ivy is the destroyer of a tree, and incenses are tied to sacrifices right here. Anyway, y'all get the idea. Still obsessed with The Shining. A lot of deep stuff. There's this one YouTuber he has a video called like the mass mirror effect in all Stanley Kubrick's movies, and what he did was he literally played all the Stanley Kubrick movies forward and backward on top of each other to see different synchronicities to it. And of course he did. When you play The Shining from start to end and end to start backwards, you overlap them and then you look at the themes, and it's totally crazy and it totally synchronizes it. And this is why, let's say, Kubrick takes 12 years to make one single movie. Like, come on, dude, why are you so slow? Because he's meticulously calculating these films to overlap each other. Not just themselves, mind you. They overlap each other. Like Doctor Strangelove overlaps Eyes Wide Shut, like at the same time. Stuff like that. So anyway, brilliant stuff. Awesome, amazing stuff. And then we saw in The Shining, in the very first couple scenes where Jack goes into the office to talk to the caretaker guy, he has the red book on his desk. Literally says the red book. And this, of course, as we know, is Carl Jung's The Red Book, where he goes into his deep subconscious psyche, almost insinuating that Jack's whole stay there was in his mind and it was his subconscious manifesting as the film itself. Fun stuff. Here's the one that just blew me out of the water when he was going over this stuff. In Eyes Wide Shut, both Thomases share the exact same birthday. Let me make this smaller so you can actually read that better. Okay, see? Thomas Cruise, born July 3rd, 1962, and his doppelganger in the movie. Like, the character is a doppelganger double of Tom Cruise, or his character, Bill Hartford. Thomas Gibson, born July 3rd, 1962. And a lot of people wondering, hey, why is the Dharma and Greg guy in Eyes Wide Shut, a movie about something really not... You don't think of this guy. Well, Kubrick purposefully had him hired because he knew he had the same birthday as Tom Cruise, so that could just be another symbolic reference to him being Tom Cruise's doppelganger. This whole movie is about mirrors and how each scene mirrors another scene from a previous scene, or just again, it goes back and forth onto itself. And a lot of people just think it's some sex movie about Illuminati cults and stuff. It's deeper than that. That's just the surface value, bro. So anyway, Kubrick did that stuff on purpose because it's Kubrick. And you see, like, the star of Venus, you know, that's the goddess of beauty and love all throughout the film, Eyes Wide Shut. Yeah, good stuff. Anyway, super obsessed with The Shining still. And Eyes Wide Shut and all that fun stuff. I think those are the best ones. And, of course, 2001 and Clockwork Orange. Those are the four that you can't... And Doctor Strangelove, sorry. Speaking of Doctor Strangelove, you know how in my notes I've talked about Mars Volta synchronizing their albums to Stanley Kubrick films. I know people thought I was crazy, among many reasons. But that's another just kind of wacky theory I have. But what solidified it was Cedric and Omar from the Mars Volta, they had another band called Anti-Mask, and they have an unreleased album called Saddle on the Atom Bomb. And that's a specific reference to Dr. Strangelove, when the cowboy gets... dropped off and he's like riding the atomic bomb as it like falls on the earth and destroys mankind and stuff. So we obviously know that the Mars Volta know about Kubrick, of course, because they're smart and cultured and sweet. I think they go a step further and synchronize their albums to that. Okay, for real, dead serious. And it's not just me. Let's see. Yeah, so Mars Volta and Kubrick Saddle on the Atom Bomb is literally Anti-Mask's last album. And then when I was watching Doctor Strangelove, I noticed it synchronized with The Last in the Comatorium. All the little cuts in The Last in the Comatorium synchronized to the Doctor Strangelove cut scenes. And then, of course, we know 2001 is Francis the Mute, including the 15-minute long single at the beginning. This what convinced me it's real. Francis the Mute synchronizes with 2001. Period. Now, Clockwork Orange, I don't know yet. I don't know what it synchronizes to yet. But The Shining definitely synchronizes with Ambidexter. Barry Lyndon synchronizes with Bedlam and Goliath for the most part. Full Metal Jacket synchronizes with Octahedron. I think very much so. But Eyes Wide Shut and Nocturnicate, that's when I was like, yes. This one and 2001 definitely synchronized to their albums. Because what does Nocturnicate mean? Well, that means night, nocturnal, and a tourniquet is something you need to survive so you don't bleed out to death. So it's almost like a nightly death. And what is Eyes Wide Shut all about? Bill Harford walking around at night, just kind of a day in the life thing in the events, course of events that happen over like 3 days. So Nocturnicate and Eyes Wide Shut have a ton of synchronicities. And yes, even when you restart it, because the albums are only like 40 minutes and the movies are like 2.5 hours. So anyway, I've been reading that stuff, fun stuff. And I just want to keep saying to Christians, how can Jesus be born December 25th if the Gregorian calendar didn't exist yet? So, oh, the Julian calendar existed? Yeah. But was Jesus using the Western Julian calendar when he was in the Middle East? No. He uses the Hebrew calendar. So what's his Hebrew birthday is the question we need to be asking. But we're so Americanized and dumb. We're like, oh, he was born December 25th just like he was in the year 1 AD. There was no December 25th in the year 1 AD, let alone a Gregorian calendar. It was a Julian calendar. And not only that, Jesus followed the Hebrew calendar, not the Julian calendar. So, we have this whole thing about nostalgia over truth in this country. I'll make fun of liberals. We need to prevent gun violence. Same liberal. Ban armed guards at schools. Make fun of Christians. Jesus loves everyone. But then these Christians hold up God hates fag signs. Hate gays. It's so stupid. So dumb. I didn't know if y'all knew this. I just found this out. LP, which is pound in weight, is a B written over an L. So that's where we get the symbol for pound. I didn't know that. And for peso, I don't know why it says peso here. A peso is a pound in weight in Spanish. So that dollar sign is actually a P mixed with an S. That's why there's a line through it. Very interesting, I thought. Okay, yeah, on every anniversary of Nimrod's birth, December 25th, he'd visit the evergreen tree and leave gifts upon it. There's your little Jesus Christmas myth. Okay, and here's Santa Claus, long-bearded guy with a tree and a reindeer. Nimrod's birthday, 2000 BC, 2,000 years before Christ. We had all these archetypes already. Okay, so let's get it straight. Gotta sneeze. Okay. Okay. Oh, God, they're so mental. Sneezes aren't physical, they're mental. Here's more AI art for you. I like to do scary Shakespeare plays sometimes, and then I'll just do trippy psychedelic scenery. Then I'll just do maps of constellations. Then I did the Jesus fish thing. How could I resist? Because Jesus was born in the age of Pisces. He fed his men the fish. They caught 153 fish, which of course we know is a triangular number. And of course, to make the iscus fish symbol, it's just this wheel that we know from ancient Babylonian times, just in different ways, which spells out ichthys. And then here we go. The width divided by the height inside the Vesica Pisces fish is 265 over 153, or the square root of 3, basically. So 153 is the fish hiding in the fish. And so, yeah, Jesus is the age of Pisces Messiah, okay? And the age of Aquarius Messiah will probably be some AI alien beast, the mark of the beast that people are told to stare at. And AI art does kind of scare me with what the implications are. It's like if you just strap someone handcuffed to a chair and then you put a VR headset over them, you can make them relive their worst nightmares ever. It'll just say, relive the scene in Jaws where the guy gets his body chopped off, and you're just in VR mode looking at this happen to you. I'm just saying, the government is like 1984. They can use these kind of tactics to scare you and keep you subject to them. Okay, just like the Matrix, they'll create a false reality, literally, with VR glasses. Yeah, more AI art. And I like to do futuristic musical instruments or something, and put a little style in, and whatever. It's all good. But anyway, just really kind of wanted to touch base with you guys and say hi. Okay, now. Yeah, and back to Kubrick and MK Ultra. We already know that Kubrick died 666 days before January 1st, 2001. He died March 7th, 1999, exactly 666 days before 2001, aka his greatest film of all time, which is about AI and technology taking over humanity. Okay? But what people don't realize, or what I've told people, but no one else seems to care on the internet yet, is that Kubrick died March 7th, 1999, the same exact day as Sidney Gottlieb. And who was that? He was the creator of MK Ultra. Okay? And people on the set were like, no, Stanley didn't seem sick at all. His heart attack was so weird and random. They said he was like in perfect health throughout the whole filming. And then all of a sudden, like a week or two after the final screening, he dies. So yeah, this is one of those cases where I think he faked his death. Okay? These celebrity deaths, Kubrick's films being about mind control and MK Ultra and society over individuality and the government over your spirit. He's about the MK Ultra thing, so he happens to die the same day as the creator of MK Ultra. No coincidence, y'all. No coincidence whatsoever. Yeah. Anyway, I'll put a link to this awesome website. It just goes over like pages of Eyes Wide Shut stuff. And I'll put a link to that other video showing how the movies overlap each other. In fact, let's see if we can just get something. Oh yeah, no, we'll do that later. I don't want to spoil it. This guy even believes Kubrick synchronized The Shining to Abbey Road, the Beatles album, because it's Kubrick. He can do that. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Yeah, just still working. It's 95 degrees out, and it's August 13th in Texas, and I feel so bad for the hurricane victims. Twice, you got Hurricane Helen and then Milton like a week later. Poor Florida. And then all the right-wing people are saying, oh, it's just the government planning these things so they can get rid of Republican voters, which I'm usually on board with, but this seems a little too simplified for me, even for me, because I believe in HARP and I believe in weather manipulation. I just don't think they'd be that obvious. I think they have some subtlety in there. But anyway, I'm sorry for any of the victims. Oh yeah, I did see Joker 2, and I liked it. Gosh darn it. I liked Joker 2. A, because I'm a dork and I like musicals. And B, we all knew it wasn't going to be another Joker movie. And as much as I get annoyed by Lady Gaga, her character didn't piss me off that much because she wasn't in it too much, thank God, probably. But all the songs are like old school jazz numbers or classic love songs from the day. I mean, if you like the first soundtrack to the Joker, you'll love this Joker, and give it a try. Okay, I think it's really good. Let's put it this way: if Joker 1 was 5 out of 5, I'd give this 3 out of 5. Most people are giving it 1. I'm like, bro, no, loosen up. And I'll admit it grows on you the second time. It gets a lot better once you know what you're getting into the second time, and then the songs get catchier, blah blah blah. So yeah, I did enjoy Joker 2, and I did enjoy Megalopolis. I loved it. I thought it was exactly the weird kind of movie I wanted it to be. Maybe it was a little corny, but who cares? It was his vision. He spent $200 million on it. He only got, what, 8 or 9 million back? So what? Some of the greatest films ever bomb in the box office. Fight Club being one prime example. But yeah, there's that. Anything else? Yeah. Pretty good year for movies. Once again, I'll say Alien Romulus was cool. Dune 2 was cool. I still got to see Beetlejuice 2. That's the one I've been missing out on. And I definitely will, because it's out right now. So anyway, Kubrick's films all synchronized to each other. The world's ending. Christmas is pagan. AI art can be used against us, just like The Matrix in the future. Anything else? Yeah. Oh yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine was awesome. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. Just want to let y'all know I'm still alive. Still doing stuff. And I've been writing more, y'all. I swear, like I told you, I finished that 100-page book, but it was like a year and a half ago. And I'm so sorry I haven't published it yet. Because I'm trying to put pictures in it, not just words. But if words are all I got right now, then I don't want to copyright other people's pictures. But anyway, I'm just trying to write more. because my birth chart says I'm a better writer than I am speaker. Because as you can see, I just keep mumbling and won't shut the hell up right now, even having trouble concentrating. But with writing, you shut up for a second, and then something original comes to you. When you're just talking, you're just kind of like, oh, what about this? What about that? Blah, 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 blah. But as a writer, you got a little more discipline, and you got a little more time to think in between sentences. Know what I'm saying? Okay. Y'all take it easy. Be safe. And hopefully it's actually fall where you live. Because in Texas,